Woo! Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. I learned a very important lesson early on in my personal training career when I first started training clients. And I was a young guy who was just wanted to learn everything there was about the body, the mind, physicality, everything. And when I would see clients, I would ask them questions. Why are you here? Why is this important to you? What are your goals? So on and so forth. And what I found was the programming that people had about themselves always went back to something that was wrong with them. From a default defect point of view, that they were too this, too that, too little, too this, just always had to center around something wasn't right about who they were as a person. So therefore, I am going to exercise, work out, train to fix this situation. And what I learned is it didn't fix it. I would take these people from point A to point Z physically, and their bodies would change, but their mentality inside their brain didn't. That there was always something else that they were reaching for, searching for, that was going to create this amount of happiness in them. Fast forward to now, I realize, because of life events that have happened to me, having trained thousands of people, coached hundreds of people, that there's nothing wrong with any of us. Now, fundamentally, I think we get that. Theoretically, we may get that, but we don't actually take action towards it. We look for things in our environment, in our everyday life, to validate this feeling of there's something wrong with us. So I always ask people when they say, well, there's just something wrong with me. There must be I'm fucked up, or I'm this, or I'm that. And I always ask them the question, if I'm going to cut you open, am I going to find a tag inside of you? There's a factory warranty tag that says there's something defective about who you are. And the answer to that comes with a chuckle, because this is an extreme question, but the answer is no. There isn't anything wrong with you. There isn't anything wrong with me. We are who we are. By the sheer fact that 1 in 4 trillion chance of us even being on the planet goes to show you there's nothing wrong with us. Now, in our mind, we're looking for things to validate the feeling that there's something wrong with us, or that we're not enough. We may put ourselves unconsciously in situations where we're with the incorrect partner who is going to take from us to then validate the same feeling, or we're in a business situation, or we're constantly looking at ourselves to fail in one thing or another, or we're constantly searching outside of ourselves to buy things to give us some sort of feeling of, that we exist. But there isn't anything wrong with you. I know that's probably, you're looking at it and shaking your head. No, there's like 3 things, 4 things, 5 things right off the top of my head I could say to you that was wrong with me. My argument back to you is that none of those things are wrong with you. Those are who you are. But the constraints that you have, how did they get there? They came from an earlier period of time in an immature brain, a developing brain, where certain things may have happened, whether they be benign or massive, or all points in between, that cause us to develop some sort of narrative about who we are, and then we carry that through our entire adulthood. And then we go back on it and say, well, I'm a failure. I'm afraid to fail, so therefore I don't try, I don't do anything. I don't attempt. I hate the word try, but I don't attempt. All the while, we're validating this entire scenario, this constraint, this narrative that we have about ourselves that something is wrong with us. When in all actuality, there isn't anything wrong with us. Not a damn thing. I tell people this when I coach them. You may ask me a question. I am only sharing my opinion because I don't have the answer. You do. That takes people back like, oh, hold on a second. I thought you were supposed to be the expert. I am here to ask questions. I am here to provide perspective. I am here to hold accountable for certain things. I am here to try to dissolve the constraints that you have about yourself. I am not here to give you an answer because I don't have the answer. The answer is within you. But I can tell you where the answer isn't. It isn't in your car. It isn't in your job. It isn't in your relationship. It isn't in your entertainment. It isn't in how funny you are. It isn't in what you can do for other people. It is within yourself. And there's nothing wrong with you. Other than you believe that there's something wrong with you. If this touched you in any which way, if you feel as if you are living your life, walking around, God, there's just so many things wrong with me, or wrong with my life, or wrong with this or that, or I'm constantly judging myself. Let's chat about it. Constantly having self-judgment towards yourself only pulls your past into your present and does not give you a future. It only gives you recycled past experiences that you were consistently having over and over and over again, whether it be relationships, whether it be situations with people, family members, job, constantly stressed, depressed, anxiety, etc. Dissolving that narrative is freeing yourself of the constraints that you've put on yourself. Not your fault, but definitely your responsibility. So again, I'm offering free discovery call, 30 minutes. We chat about who you are, where you want to be, and how we get there. And it isn't going to be through searching from out yourself. It's going to be here and dissolving those constraints and shrinking all these things that provide you with this self-limiting belief that you're not enough, because you are.